Hello, everyone. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate Rural Talk Radio Network, a subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Our mantra is to educate, enlighten, and entertain. The views of the guests may not represent those of the host of the station. Folks, I do get excited every time I do a show. It kind of brings me to life. And it is a purpose for me. And I want the audience to know the passion that I have is for you to know about products, resources, and people that can help you have a better life that I wish I knew about or that was available to me when I was a caregiver. That's one reason why I do this show. And with me today is a wonderful young man, and yes, I can say young man, because I'm old enough to be his mom. With me today is Maxwell Cohen, who is the inventor and CEO of PEELAWAYS and No Startups podcast. Maxwell comes from a family of entrepreneurs. Max realized no one liked changing or washing sheets in college, so Max created PEELAWAYS sheets. He was on Shark Tank season number 7. PEELAWAYS are celebrated for their simplicity, innovation, and impact on everyday life. PEELAWAYS is the bedding industry's first multi-layered, disposable, waterproof fitted sheet designed for residential and institutional use. Folks, I'll tell you right now, I wish I knew about this, I'm going to say 6 years ago for Matt, and that's why I am so happy to have Maxwell Cohen on with me today. Welcome, Maxwell Cohen, to Chatting with Betsy.
Hey, Betsy. It's an honor to be here today. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome. My pleasure, and thank you for creating PEELAWAYS. When I read about your product, I was like, oh, I wish I had this for Matt. I have to tell support groups about your product because I do get asked quite frequently, Betsy, what should I do? What should I buy? And now I could tell them about PEELAWAYS. So how did you create this wonderful product? And I'm sending you hugs, because I'm going to hug you for all the caregivers in the world for creating this product.
Wow, you're giving me chills, Betsy. I appreciate all the kind words. As mentioned, when I was in college, I noticed my friends, they rarely wash their sheets. And I said to myself, there has to be an easier way. So I iterated on some ideas of how to make it happen, and then it was the impetus of creating the product that we have today called PEELAWAYS. PEELAWAYS is one fitted bed sheet with the elastic at the bottom that we're all familiar with. We use nitrile opposed to natural elastic, which in healthcare settings could have an allergy. And it's a fitted bed sheet that meets Post-its. The top 5 layers are incredibly soft and 100% waterproof. I repeat, 100% waterproof. Feces, incontinence, and blood are guaranteed not to penetrate from layer to layer. When I started the business, I was targeting markets I was familiar with, which was the college market, was the practical or lazy college students that didn't like washing their sheets. And when I started getting belly to belly with my customers, I started to realize that caregivers needed this product and were using this product more than the markets I was going after. Then we started pushing the products toward caregivers, and then the product became a need. And our caregivers swear by the products, and it makes me feel so good that something I invented for myself ended up being wonderful for a bunch of folks that were in a very vulnerable, tough situation taking care of a loved one.
Yes, I have to ask you this, Max, because this is my experience for Matt. Matt was my husband. I would layer the bed like unbelievable with the waterproof pads, waterproof protector sheet. But still, even with the waterproof pads, the linens became wet. So with your PEELAWAYS, then someone doesn't need all this bulky waterproof pads then, because your sheets take care of that.
You're absolutely correct. The sheets are absorbent and 100% waterproof, and they're so thin you wouldn't even know that there is a bed sheet on the bed that's any different than a traditional bed sheet. Each layer is guaranteed to be 100% waterproof. They're incredibly soft and comfortable to sleep on, as we use a microporous waterproof layer, which allows each layer to breathe. So it's great for sensitive skin as well.
I am so excited about this, and disposable. And I don't know about you all out there listening to this, but I know washing the sheets and the waterproof pads, which got wet, was time-consuming. And, wear and tear on your washer and dryer. Maxwell, this product, I really hope people check it out, because this is a product that if I knew about, I would have been running onto my phone to order it, because I would probably have ordered it by the cases during my caregiving with Matt when I needed this product. This is absolutely phenomenal. I was so excited, folks, when I read about Maxwell's PEELAWAYS that I said, I got to interview Maxwell. I have to have him on the show and introduce PEELAWAYS. And Maxwell, I'm going to introduce you to my audience, because this is such a phenomenal product. People in caregiving groups are always asking, what do I do? I saw someone post earlier this month. She had an actual picture of all her laundry, and she said, what do I do? She has a son who needs your product. And I didn't know about your product at that time. Excuse me.
There's 54 million unpaid caregivers, which means they're taking care of at least 54 million people that need caring. There's parts of caregiving that are harder than others. There's parts of caregiving that create more caregiver burnout than others. And changing bed sheets is, it's one of those things that if there's an instant solution, it seems and has become a need in the industry. Just like diapers and pads, PEELAWAYS is the diaper and pad of the fitted bed sheet world. Every single bed needs a fitted bed sheet. To me, a mattress is just one giant sponge, essentially. So there always needs to be a waterproof barrier. So PEELAWAYS is complementary to pads and diapers. If the pad doesn't catch it, the PEELAWAYS will. So instead of having to do laundry 2 to 3 times a day, 2 to 3 extra times a week, PEELAWAYS gives you a disposable alternative to a traditional bed sheet where you could have piles of laundry in the corner that have contaminants on them. One, I spoke to a caregiver. He said he almost got evicted because of his dirty bed sheets in the corner, because he didn't, he had 5 or 6 at a time that he would have to wash, but they wouldn't all accumulate, and it would accumulate over the week. He said his landlord said other folks were complaining from the smell of urine, that he almost got evicted. So between this being an incredibly hard situation, it allows caregivers to face less burnout, as you simply just peel the sheet away instantly, have a brand new sheet. You get your dignity and independence back. And then for the person being cared for, it's no longer embarrassing when these situations happen, because it's not their fault and it's not up to them. And now there's an instant solution as if it almost never happened.
That is incredible. And you bring up a point, if you're in an apartment, you have a landlord, what a pain it is to have to carry all that linen to your either your laundry area, or if you have to get in your car and go to the laundromat. I'm fortunate I live in a house, so I, able to do it in my house, but it was really a nuisance to wash all these sheets, wash all these waterproof pads, and if I could have had just, one product and eliminated some of that bulk, that would have been wonderful. You know what else I'm thinking here, Maxwell? I know it's a fitted sheet, but you could probably get a smaller size, put it on your couch where your loved one sits, or a chair, and protect the furniture.
You're absolutely correct. We make all sizes from crib to king. Twin XL is our most popular size, as it fits the standard hospital-sized bed. And even with comments like that, we started iterating on some new products that we're launching in the new year that would be excellent to put in your car if you're traveling, put it on your lazy boy. These solutions are created based off of our customer feedback, and we're super duper excited to launch them.
Yes, the car. You're absolutely right, because I used to put towels down just in case, and I used to put waterproof pad on the couch where Matt sat, and just to have a product that's waterproof. Even when my mom, when she was she just died this past March, she was wearing Depends, and I told her about getting waterproof pads because she was using a towel. And Maxwell, as you know and I know, a towel, folks, is not going to absorb when someone urinates. It's just not going to do anything. And at that time I didn't know about PEELAWAYS. Do you sell to institutions? I guess you do, nursing homes, because this would be a wonderful product to have in a place like that.
Yes. We sell our products through a major distributor, Medline. Medline services essentially every single institution in the United States and beyond. We're working on getting the product into long-term care facilities, hospice care, acute care, and even different markets you don't think about, like sleep labs. This product has a lot of uses and versatility. Since we do all sizes from crib to king, each one essentially has a very unique market. The crib size and twin size are great for potty training and special needs at a young age, and then you graduate into the twin XL, which is, we have college students using it as a mattress protector. We have elderly using it as the sheet that they sleep on. And then the larger sizes are great for so many uses, whether it's on a guest bed, whether it's in an RV, whether it's, in a temporary living situation. PEELAWAYS is more, it becomes sort of a lifestyle. We have, our wonderful customers subscribe to our products because they find so much use in them. As
you're probably the folks in the audience, thinking a crib, when you're a new mom and you lack sleep, what a great gift to give someone PEELAWAY crib sheets. That would be such a wonderful gift for a young mom, young dad, a caregiver. Folks, I'll tell you what, this is, it will be October tomorrow, as I'm doing this on the 30th, Caregiver Month, November. What a wonderful gift. Holiday season coming up. I would buy this as a gift for a caregiver, for a new mom. I wish they would have had this when my son was born 40 years ago. That would have been a lifesaver for sure, Maxwell. I have to ask you this. How is your experience on Shark Tank? I never watched the show. I know who Kevin O'Leary is. I've seen him on other shows. But how is that How was that for you?
Absolutely. That was season 7, episode 8. So that rounds up to about over 9 years ago when I was on that show. The product at the time was called A Fresh Sheet, AFRSHEET. I thought it was very clever when I was in college to put the SH in fresh and sheet together. But when I debuted on the show, many folks couldn't pronounce or even understand the name of the business. So I changed the name of the business to PEELAWAYS to make it pretty literal, almost like a Band-Aid. That experience was a terrific experience. Mr. Wonderful didn't fancy the products. We all laughed together. He said, it's a dog of a product. Shoot it, get rid of it, and do something else with my time. So I am very thankful. I believed in what I was doing. I believed in the product itself, the quality, the innovation, and the iterations of building the business and the product. And most importantly, what kept me going were those early caregivers that showed not just an interest in the product, but the product becoming a need in their everyday caring. And that was 10 years ago. Since then, there's over 9.5 million more caregivers today than there were when I was pitching the product. I wish I switched my pitch to be towards the caregivers, the 53 million caregivers. At that time, there's probably 44 million, because it makes so much more sense opposed to going after college students. But I learned so much from that journey. I've iterated the product since the show, where it's even softer, it's 100% waterproof, and I have better answers to their questions opposed to just being a brand new college graduate, just inventing a product without really having a business acumen and learning and understanding how to grow and scale a business. So I take that experience, I've learned from it, I've iterated the product based off of their feedback, but it was our customers that allowed me to take these rough comments and continue my journey, as now we have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews of caregivers swearing by the practicality of the product PEELAWAYS. It could take anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the caregiver's experience, to change a bedsheet for a loved one. I repeat, 10 to 30 minutes. What's excellent about PEELAWAYS is if somebody is bedridden, you could change a sheet within 60 seconds or less. One of the biggest, most challenging parts of caregiving is moving the patient safely. This allows folks to just tear one side, tuck it under, roll them over, tear the other side, and within 60 seconds or less, you could have a brand new sheet as if incontinence was never a thing. So it gives people their dignity and independence back. It allows the caregiver to instantly have a brand new solution during one of the hardest moments of watching a loved one deteriorate, unfortunately, before your eyes. And this gives you your dignity and independence back. And I'll keep saying that.
Yep. You're fading out, Max.
More
Maxwell, you kind of faded out. The connection, you're breaking up. Can you hear me, Maxwell? Because you're
Hey, do you hear me now? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, I hear you now. I had that breaking up. So could you repeat
Hopefully
what you?
We could edit that out.
Well, that we don't. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. If you could repeat what you said.
Yes, I've become a co-caregiver recently with my wife's family. And it's a very difficult situation where it's more than actual just physical caregiving. Between the emotional and physical toll, there's so many other aspects of becoming a caregiver, like taking care of, finances, understanding how to use Medicaid or the healthcare system, as it's not very easy. There's no real template. And while you're under distress, it's incredibly hard to navigate this entire situation. We have to talk about trust. We have to do accounting. We have to get them in, our loved one into, long-term care. A professional caregiver is outrageously expensive. So something like PEELAWAYS allows folks to age in place longer. Something as simple as a fitted bed sheet with layers allows loved ones not to send their other loved ones to an institution. From my understanding, incontinence and hygiene is the number one reason family members, I don't want to say give up, but family members start looking into institutionalized care, because it is just simply too hard sometimes to keep up with the hygiene that your loved one requires.
Yeah, that's very true, Maxwell. And this is also a great product to travel with. If you want to go on vacation, you could bring this to wherever you're traveling. I guess the airlines would allow it, but if you're traveling like by car, you definitely can take this to a hotel or wherever you're staying. If you're staying over someone's house and you're afraid of wetting their mattress and ruining their mattress, buy the PEELAWAYS. Bring it with you. Don't be embarrassed.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So PEELAWAYS, we've had testimonials where PEELAWAYS has allowed loved ones to go on cruise ships and travel to hotels. They've always had the concern of having an episode on somebody else's bed. And with PEELAWAYS, it allows these folks to feel more free when they're traveling, as we could guarantee, and they know that, if there is an episode, it's not a big deal. You simply just peel off that layer. Within 60 seconds or less, you can instantly have a brand new sheet. I know it's something that's so simple, but it creates such a difference for so many folks.
That definitely. I remember waking, Matt up, especially near the end of his life, and he would be soaked. And even though I padded up the bed, it was still wet underneath. And washing all that just about every day. Washing the waterproof pads and the sheets. And, it takes water and wear and tear. And I don't know about anyone else, but I live in New Jersey, and my water bill rates went through the roof recently, but my water bill was quite high from washing all those water pads and the sheets for Matt. So it's an expense.
We've had some customers push back on being a disposable product. We like to remind people that diapers and pads most of the time are disposable, and that our products are complementary. And if there is feces, incontinence, or blood, it is preferable just across the board for things to be disposable. I am an environmental economics major, but as you did mention, doing laundry could add up. It's 50 gallons of precious water, which needs to be heated to high extreme heats to make sure that all contaminants are decontaminated. Bleach and detergents, which in many cases are chemical pollutants. And then the most importantly is time, electricity, and money. So having a disposable option is a wonderful solution to something that could take a very long time, that is not the most practical way for caring for a loved one. If you're going to use pads and diapers, I guarantee you will love the practicality of PEELAWAYS, the one fitted bed sheet with 5 soft, 100% waterproof peel-away layers. Anything happens, you can instantly have a brand new sheet, no matter what happens.
I love the concept. I was, folks, as all of you who have heard me for 5 years, know that when you hear me, I'm being me because I can't be anyone else but me. I was so excited when Maxwell, you connected with me on LinkedIn, and I read about your product, and I went on your website, and I went on Amazon, and I read the reviews. I said, I have got to have Maxwell on my show. I have got to introduce you to my audience. And this is a product that I fully embrace. I know it would be a benefit to someone. I know it would have benefited me big time, whether it was when I was a young mom or caregiving for Matt or even my mother-in-law, because I also took care of my mother-in-law. That was 24 years ago. Excuse me. But this would have been a great product. This would have been great for my mom to have had at home and in her assisted living. This is a product that is just a wonderful product. It's a godsend, really. I mean, if you have never been caregiving, folks, you don't know what it's like. But if you were a caregiver or are a caregiver, you know what it's like to have to change that bedding every day, or maybe more than once a day. Maybe it's the couch. Maybe it's wherever your loved one sits. Maybe it's the kitchen chair. I would definitely would have bought this product. 100% I would have bought this product. And I would have told the world about it, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to tell the world about PEELAWAYS because I believe in that product. That's how much I believe in this product, folks. And I just think it's wonderful. I'm glad, Maxwell, that you didn't get discouraged after being on Shark Tank, that you continued on improving your idea. So that just shows, folks, don't let people discourage you. If you have a dream, you have a vision, keep working on it, just like what Maxwell did.
You're absolutely correct, and I appreciate those kind words. It was very discouraging at the time. I was just a young lad, just graduated college, and whether the product was at its perfect optimization, I thought the idea and the product itself at the time at least had some merit. I am very glad, just for our customers out there, that I stuck with it. As I mentioned before, it was our early customers that gave me the motivation to continue on even after a very tough appearance on the TV show Shark Tank. And every review I get, I read. Everybody that reaches out, I respond personally. And it's very heartwarming to feel that something I invented for myself ended up being so wonderful for so many other people. I've started iterating on 2 new versions of the product. One is for the people that don't need a disposable solution. So it's a reusable version of PEELAWAYS that's highly absorbent, and each layer is waterproof. And you instantly take that layer off. You can wash it if you want, and launder it if you prefer that solution, or of course the traditional PEELAWAYS that comes with the disposable option. So I'm super duper excited to be able to cater to all people's opinions and all people's likes, as the market is starting to grow. We want to make sure we could cater to all caregivers. If we could just make their journey in life 1% easier, that's our goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Maxwell, from my own experience as being a caregiver, this would have helped me tremendously because of changing the bed, washing it, and drying it, and trying to get to ready for work. This would have been a time saver for sure. I have no doubt about that. And for the millions of caregivers out there, I just want to encourage you to check it out. Go on the website. And what is your website, Max, and how can people purchase this wonderful product?
PEELAWAYS are available on PEELAWAYS.com, PEELAWAYS, just like you're peeling away something. And then we are available on Amazon Prime as well. We will potentially be available in some retailers and some durable medical equipment stores in the near future. But you could definitely look us up. We make all sizes from crib to king. Twin XLs are most popular sizes. It fits the standard hospital bed. And now our products are proudly distributed by Medline, which is one of the largest healthcare distributors in the world, which gives us the recognition that they like the product, that they enjoy the product, and it is very heartwarming to get this wonderful response from people that are in a very vulnerable situation. As mentioned, if we can make your journey 1% easier, that is my heartfelt goal. And if it makes it anything more than that, God bless. Thank you so much.
Well, that is fantastic. Before you go, I want to ask you about your podcast, No Startups. How did you come about that? Or is that the name of your podcast? Am I getting the name right?
That is the name. You got it. So I have an umbrella. It's called No Startups, but KNOW Startups. As mentioned in your brief on my background, I come from a family of serial entrepreneurs. My parents pushed us to start businesses before we turned 27. The notion behind that is that you get the experience of building something from the ground up, and by no means is it easy. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So it allows you to become very resilient. Whether my siblings failed or succeeded, it's better to do it at a young age when you don't have too much to lose. So luckily, my brother and sister both started businesses before 27, including myself, so we never had to find out the consequences of starting a business beyond 27, and they've both become very successful in their own rights. And we're very thankful that our parents pushed us in this direction. Whether we're going to work with it or for somebody, a business in the future, having all of these experiences is a wonderful solution for anything in life, whether it's a personal relationship, a professional relationship. Building a business is no easy feat. I always joke around. I don't wish entrepreneurship against my worst enemy. And that's where No Startups comes in, where my brother and I have a podcast called Startup Brothers. And we talk about the startup environment, the funding environment. We're based in New York City, where it's just electric when it comes to startups and businesses. My brother is a venture capitalist and angel investor, which means he invests in early-stage businesses to help them grow. And being a startup founder myself and him having a startup in the past, we have wonderful perspectives of how the industry is moving, what it really takes, and what people are going through. So we post daily on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube under our handle No Startups, KNOW Startups, and we just talk about everything it takes to build a business, everything that's happening in the micro and macroeconomics of business, and most importantly, our goal, just like PEELAWAYS, if we can make your entrepreneurial journey 1% easier, that's all we ask. That's all we want to do. If we make it anything beyond that, we would love to do that. But having and starting a business is incredibly difficult, so we like to give people realistic insight from people who've done it before, and I'm still doing it today. And so that's No Startups. I appreciate you asking about that.
Oh, you're welcome. And where can people hear your podcast? Wherever they hear podcasts?
Wherever you hear podcasts, we're the Startup Brothers. Startup Brothers. My brother's had a startup. He's an investor. I have a startup, and I have a few other things I'm working on as well. But anywhere that you listen to podcasts, we put out a podcast once every 2 weeks so we could let the markets mature. And, we have a wonderful newsletter talking about the markets, investing, that comes out once a week.
Wow, you are such I hope you don't get insulted, Maxwell, but you are such a nice young man. And Wow. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your product, PEELAWAYS. And it's a time saver. And folks, even though I never used the product, I wish I knew about it. This is why I tell you about it. I know that it would have been such a time saver for me and would have helped me tremendously. And Maxwell, I can't thank you enough for coming on and creating this product. I'm so glad you didn't get discouraged. I'm glad you went for your dream and what you're doing and helping other people get their businesses started. It's a tough world out there, and if people can, come together and help each other and support each other, that's what we're here for, to help each other. And I just want to thank you.
Correct.
Maxwell Cohen
thank you for help spreading the word of just PEELAWAYS, but just anything that could help caregivers. As I've recently become one, caregivers need to stick together. Caregivers need to learn from each other. Caregivers need to speak to each other, because it is a very selfless, lonely, hard, expensive, time-consuming, exhausting, journey that most of us will eventually have to go through. So I really appreciate all the content that I've listened to that you've put out and you having me on your show today.
You are welcome, Maxwell. What you said is absolutely true, and that's why I do this show, because I was a caregiver, and I know what it's like, and that's why I have my group, #Kick Alzheimer's Death Movement, on Facebook, and everyone is welcome to join because we need support. And I created my group because no one should ever walk this journey alone during caregiving or after caregiving. Before I forget, Maxwell, how can people connect with you?
Absolutely. You can find us on all platforms under PEELAWAYS, @PEELAWAYS, on essentially every platform. You can find me on LinkedIn personally under Maxwell Cohen. There's a few of us, so make sure you choose the one with PEELAWAYS. And I would love to talk to anyone that wants to talk caregiving, anyone that wants to talk startups. I'm here to help, and if there's anything that I've learned over the years that I could share to make your journey easier, that's one of my goals in life.
Oh, that is wonderful. And Maxwell, if you need any support, you need any resources, I know you're in New York, but just send me an email. I know a lot of resources. I've had people on my show, and I know resources and even personal support. I'm here for you. I know what it's like to walk the journey of caregiving, and I know what it's like not to have support and not to know about resources. And that's why, folks, when you hear the passion in my voice, that's real. I took care of my mother-in-law for 5 years, took care of my husband, Matt, for 10 years. My dad had Alzheimer's. I didn't take care of him, but I encouraged my mom. I was there for support. I'm still a caregiver. I have an adult son who has a cognitive disability, and so I'm still caregiving in a way, a different way, but in a way. And, caregiving is tough. And we need the support. You need the support. I'm here for you. The show is here to help support you, give you information, give you resources. And I would appreciate it if all you listeners would share the show, because I want to help as many people as possible, and I can't do it unless you help me. And it's a way to honor Matt's legacy, his life, because it's because of Matt that I do have this show, and I will always honor Matt's life. And I want to thank everyone for listening. Maxwell Cohen, thanks again for coming on. And it's Cohen, spelled Cohen. All the information about Maxwell Cohen will be on the blog that Jeannie White, who's the station manager, writes. And Jeannie produces the show. So thank you. Excuse me. And I want to thank Lillian Caldwell, CEO of Pesher Will Talk Radio Network, who makes this all possible. And again, thanks for listening, folks. If you're not on the race, subscribe to Chatting with Betsy. Please do so. It's for free. I'm on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, Amazon Music, to name a few. I do this to help people. This show has given me a purpose after Matt died, and even before he died, I was doing this show. And I just am very grateful to be a host on Pastoral Talk Radio and to have this platform to help other people. That's my purpose. That's what I was put here for. I truly believe that. Guess what Clem's just talking about it. But that's what I have to say today, folks. And as I always say at the end of my show, in a world where you could be anything, please be kind and shine your light bright, because we need it now more than ever before. And if you want to follow me, I am on Facebook, Betsy E. Wurzel, Wurzel. You can see what I'm all about. You can see pictures of Matt, my son Josh, and how I'm for Alzheimer's awareness every day. And I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful that I did have that experience and that I am helping other people with their experience. And I am grateful and blessed. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Pastoral Talk Radio Network, a subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye now.